All right. Yes, guys, welcome to the first ever episode of our brand new channel, Expected Game Plan. You guys might know us from our other channel, the Double Thought Show. But we've decided to create another channel specifically for sports topics because on the other channel and Double Thought Show, we talk mostly about trending topics. But because we've noticed that we do talk a lot about sports, we thought it would be better to separate the two channels so as not to confuse the our subscribers of Double Thought Show. So if you guys want, for those of you who want to check us out, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our other channel, the Trending Topics channel, where we discuss, in essence, how to lose money. Of course, that's sarcastically, but we just talk about how people lose money and try to extract lessons from that. Here on this channel, however, we will focus mostly on sports side. So we're going to talk about primarily the football, trending topics,
Yeah.
NBA topics, and other sports. If it's a trending topic, we might talk about it. For those of you who know, KR and myself, we just like to talk. We just like to dive deep into certain topics, and we encourage our followers to first of all subscribe if you haven't done so already. Of course, this is the first show, so if you're I think we have one subscriber now. So if you subscribe, definitely that's send us a pic. But second of all, we encourage you to comment and engage with us, share your thoughts and opinions as well. KR, you wanted to say something else? Maybe a welcome from your side as well before we proceed with the show?
Yes, welcome, guys.
Okay, thank you, KR. With that being said, K,
Yeah,
KR,
I gave you the layoff. That's how
yeah,
great of a co-host I am, right?
yeah. Hey, KR, first and
Tell me
foremost, we're going to talk about America's team. How about them Cowboys?
about
More
them
specifically,
Cowboys.
we're going to talk about, I'm curious to know your thoughts and opinions on their quarterback, Dak Prescott. There seems to be a lot of discussions in sports media about his legitimacy because if you look at his stats, he is a very
He's
good.
been stat padding for a long while now. No one wanted to acknowledge that, but he's been stat padding.
But well, some people still claim that he is a good quarterback. So you have on the one hand people who say that he's a good quarterback and they base it on his numbers, and others are saying no, he's not a good quarterback. What this his numbers reflect empty calories. He can throw the ball. He throws the ball very well when there's no pressure, and that's when he gets the yardages, and the completion percentages. But when the pressure comes, when he has to deliver in tight situations, he uh, oftentimes, if not most of the times, fails to support to save his team from uncomfortable situations. So your thoughts on
Kurt
that?
Cousin is basically no, no, no. You're talking about Dak Prescott, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Okay. I just got confused what the person you were describing because it sounded like it was Kurt Cousin.
Okay.
It sounded like Kurt Cousin, and all the respect, I like Kurt Cousin as a guy, as a quarterback, but some guys are just made to have a franchise float and not win. And I think
Okay.
it's the same
Dak.
with Dak. Dak is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's been stat padding for a long while now. He's been putting great numbers against
Bad
defense like
teams.
bad teams, but when it comes to winning games, he has to win like the Eagles, tough games. It's a they shut him down either because I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, right now it's because of him, but maybe also the system doesn't fit within his capabilities. Because at the end of the day, all quarterbacks are system quarterbacks. Whatever you believe,
What do you
Patrick
mean by that?
Mahomes is a system quarterback.
What do you mean by that?
The system elevates them.
So you're
It's
saying so? Oh, with system quarterback, you mean every quarterback? You mean to say that every quarterback, the at
needs
least
to
the
fit
rate
the
of
system.
success is based on the system that
Yes,
surrounds the
yes.
QB.
The, the, the system that was created for Brady made it. They were calling Brady a system quarterback for the longest, and that is true. Every quarterback needs the right system for them to prevail in. It's just fact. It's just fact. People don't consider before this. I mean, lately I've been seeing it much more often. Mahomes is also a system quarterback. His system is scramble. The whole system that's been created by, and that's the thing. It doesn't seem like the guy cannot throw off of the of a steady platform. He has to do the weird stuff in order to wiggle, jiggle, wiggle, and then throw the ball. He's not. If you look at, for example, he chooses to run with whenever he doesn't have to. But that's regardless. System quarterbacks, I think Dak is also a system quarterback. Maybe the system, I mean, the system that was being run before this. What's the guy's name? He's now at another team. The offensive coordinator. Um, I forgot his name. But the young he was a pretty young guy. He was running a system that's pass heavy, not a lot of run, and right now they are mixing it up a little bit more. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, the guy throws interceptions when he shouldn't have to. And I think he again, I like him as a person. But as a quarterback, he's just an average one. Let's not act like he's the next coming of Brady or something. The guy throws quite often a interception. That's my
Uh,
opinion of him. He's not
all
gonna
right.
get better. He's not gonna get much better than this.
Yeah. I am. You're more of a football person than I am. I've been watching and so basketball. Played basketball for majority of my life. But let's say from what I see, I've saw some Cowboys games a lot because it's impossible not to. Seems like they're on TV even during bye weeks. But I think that no, I think usually there's a lot of hype, and I think the media hypes the team up as well. But when you look at the team itself, when they won the first game against who did they beat? The first game,
Can't
or
recall.
did
Don't watch
or did the
the-
Jets?
just
I don't-
I think probably everyone is
they
being this.
came out. They came out heavy. They came out heavy, and that's when people were like, "No, you know what? These guys are.
This is the year again.
Yeah, this is the it's the
Oh,
year."
God.
But it seems like since then, all they have done is, I mean, they've won some games and they do have a winning streak. They won a good game against the Jets. They won comfortably. They lost against the Cardinals. They won comfortably against the Patriots, and they lost against the 49ers. And to your point as well, they lose against the tough team. So the
Yeah,
49ers is a
they,
heavy
they
team.
they just don't lose. They really get punched in, man.
Yeah.
42 versus 10
Yeah.
against a direct a rivalry. There is a rivalry between the two.
Hmm.
You got punched in 42 to 10 by the 49ers. That means a lot. That's the biggest problem right now, right? People are always talking about I mean, they won from the Jets, they win from the Giants.
And that's the thing. They came like 40. The first game was
40-0.
like 40-0 against the Giants. They were
40-0.
like,
The Giants
yeah.
Giants isn't a good team. I told you, right? That was a highway robbery. I posted that. I don't know if you recall the stories from last year when when they signed Daniel Jones for 40 million.
Hmm.
I wrote that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a highway robbery.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones ain't a 40. I mean, if I would pay him 25, that would be a lot. But
Yeah.
he's no 20, 40 million dollar worth of quarterback. Now they are screwed. They signed, I think, a 3 year, 40 million a year. I
Mhm.
think something like that. They're done. They're
Yeah.
done.
Well, let's see because they are in their conference. They are standing at second in week
That's
five.
not that's not
We-
tough. That's easy because who
Yeah, I'm
else is in
saying,
the
yeah.
Dolphins?
Well, the Eagles is on top with five
Of
zip,
course.
and the Commanders is third with 2-3, and the Giants fourth. But
W- with Riverboat Ron, you already know you can be number two. I don't know. People talk, and we're gonna talk about Patriots later, but people always talk about Bill Belichick is it has been losing. He has to be fired. The guy won 6 Super Bowls.
Mhm.
I don't think Riverboat Ron Rivera has had a winning season since 2006 or something like that. He's still a head coach at different teams.
Yeah,
So I don't know what people are talking about. You gotta always benchmark the situation, I think. But
yeah, but okay.
in this case, they are against Giants and Commanders. It's not hard to be number two
Yeah. Well,
in this conference.
the next, and I can see the Cowboys. The Cowboys might go to the. They probably will go to at least the postseason, so the playoffs games.
They're
I
playing
see it. They have the
Chargers
Chargers, the
next
Rams.
Monday. Tonight.
Yeah. So they have the Chargers.
Yeah.
Then they have the Rams.
Another bad coach team, by the way.
Then they have the Rams.
They're gonna lose that one. They're
Then
gonna
they have the Eagles, and then they get the Giants again, and then the Panthers. And talk about the, I mean, and then the Commanders, and then the Seahawks. So it's like destined. It's like their schedule is destined to come down to the last game to see whether or not they make it or not.
they still have to play the Bills, Dolphins, and then Lions, and then Commanders as last in January.
But I mean, if it's a strong team, two teams that you can deny that are strong, well, three teams I would argue that are very strong teams at this moment. This is just week 5. You have the Eagles, you have the um,
Dolphins.
49ers, and the Dolphins. Those
49ers definitely. The 49ers are looking very good. That I
very good,
agree with you.
and that's what I mean to say. And they try, but when you hear people talk about the Cowboys, they seems as though they're putting them in the same category as those three teams. Even the Chiefs aren't playing on the level of the three teams that I've just mentioned. But the Chiefs have a quarterback that has proven time and time again that he can step up
Make a difference.
under duress, and that's the difference. But and just to show that you don't, I'm not gonna put, in my opinion, I'm not gonna put Chiefs in the top because they're not playing
They're
like
not.
that. Travis Kelsey was injured the first couple of weeks, I think, and then they get in, but it's still the Chiefs. So you need to be. It's
They
just
can
like,
get it. Yeah, they can turn it on.
yeah,
Probably. I think if I look at the standings, Lions, I'm still suspect of. You really like Lions. I also like
I love
the
the Lions,
character
man.
of the team. I like the character of the team, but I'm still. I've seen Goff in a Super Bowl. The way we stopped him, maybe he has changed. People change, develop,
Yeah,
but I still think deep inside it's still the same Goff. If you put him under pressure, he's gonna. I don't gonna say cave, but he's gonna tremble a little bit.
I
Put
like the line.
49ers.
You know me. I like me some. I like the underdog
You like knees,
because
knobbing on knees. Pause.
when you put, what does the coach say? If you put us down, we'll stand up, and on our way up, we'll bite off the kneecap.
Kneecaps. Yeah.
And if you put us down again, we'll stand up again, and on our way up, we're gonna bite off the other kneecap. But me being an underdog fan got me this Funko Pop, the Baker Mayfield
Who's that?
Funko
Who's that?
Pop.
Who's that?
That's a Baker. That's Shake and
Oh,
Bake. It was a gift from you. And since you
oh yeah,
gave me that
really?
gift, that was like 3 years ago. And since you gave me that gift, Baker's momentum went downhill. So
I guess I need to get you a new one because he's playing out of his mind at the Bucks.
he's playing pretty well at the box. Yeah, but I'm not falling for that anymore. So
Oh,
I like the Lions a lot. And but there you see, oh, that's something else that I want to talk that's important. There you could see throughout the years how the Lions and the coaching staff, the whole organization built a team.
team building. Yes,
And
yes.
with the Cowboys, I have the feeling that there's hype, but I never have the feeling that they're building a team. That like they're a tight team. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it
Yes, I
makes
know what you
sense.
mean. There is no, you don't see a DNA in the team.
Yeah,
The with the Lions, you clearly see they are selecting and
yeah,
getting
yeah,
free agents that have a certain mindset or that can play a certain way,
yeah.
and that's what the Patriots have been doing for the longest, right? And you see that now at Detroit, they are choosing guys that are willing to work hard, and also that fit within the scheme they want to play. Because they know what the weakness is of Goff. His weakness is pressure. His weakness is really pressure. It's always been pressure. Under pressure, the guy makes very weird decisions. That's what had been doing at Rams. That's why they shipped him off. I mean, it worked out because they won the first year with a new
Stafford,
quarterback.
yes,
They
Stafford
won.
went.
They won the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
so they won at the end.
it
But
worked out for the Rams. You mean?
yes, it worked out for the
Uh,
Rams, and it seems to be working out for the Detroit Lions as well.
as
But
well, yeah.
we have to see because I mean they have the team they put together has a great O line, and they always say games are won in the trenches. So
Hmm.
they have a pretty good O line, which gives him the time which he needs.
Yeah. Well, the Lions
Not a
currently are
strong
at the top.
arm, not a noodle arm.
Yeah, the Lions are currently at the top of their division.
Yes, they are.
And in their division, you have the Packers at two, with a record of 2-3. The Vikings and
Good cousin.
Kirk. That's yeah. It seems less like an average quarterback, average quarterback here with a 1-4 record,
I mean, Jefferson is out, right? So
and the
they're
Bears.
done. They're
Yeah.
done.
So and they have the
And,
Bears. So the
and you have
Bears and the
there's
Vikings have this.
basically Kurt Cousins without arms and only
Yeah.
feet. A
Yeah.
running back, Kurt Cousins.
Yeah. So if the Lions can just hold on to the first spot,
It's not
which
gonna be tough.
is not tough,
Not gonna be
they
tough.
can go to the.
Packers are still searching. I'm not convinced that Love is the guy. He will
uh,
have to develop. He will have to develop to become that guy. But
yeah. Well,
um
I think the Lions, but the Lions have some games coming up they need to watch out for, or at least speaking of which, they're playing this QB, or at least they play this QB.
mm,
So we need to see how they will, in general, just do
go.
against the Bucks, do against the Ravens that they have. As that's the game that's up next. I mean, they're not there yet, and they have
Oh,
a sweet record, 4-1 to start the first. So for the first 5 games, so that's definitely not a bad start at all. But if you look at who um, they played the Seahawks.
they won?
They won. They lost. They lost against
Yeah.
the Seahawks. Yeah,
Yeah, they're a tough team, man.
yeah. They lost against the Seahawks. They won. They beat the Chiefs. That was the first game by 1 point. Chiefs without Travis Kelce, of course. They lost against the Seahawks. They beat the Falcons. Then they beat the Packers. Then they beat the Panthers. So The teams weren't the best teams either.
Those are trash teams. Those are trash teams, dude. I'll be honest. Panthers is out here. I don't know what Panthers are doing. They are basically right now. They're already selling out the. They are selling out the owner, and he
Yeah,
pressed for the current quarterback.
yeah. But
Yeah,
if you look at the next three games, they have the Bucks, they have the Ravens, and they have the Raiders. So let's see. Let's
again,
see how they do.
Bucks.
So that's those are the next three games. The fourth one is the Chargers that they have.
Charges. I mean, there has been malpractice,
Yeah.
coaching malpractice for a long time at the Chargers.
But
I'm convinced Staley has something on the management because it's crazy.
yeah.
This guy is
Well,
going on the fourth.
yeah,
fourth.
well, if yeah, but let's say but I do see them have. I mean, after so I mentioned like the next three games, which are the Bucks, the Ravens, and the Raiders. But after those three games, they have the Chargers, the Bears, the Packers, the Saints, and the Bears. So
Jeez,
five games that they should win.
it's
Oh,
an
a sixth
easy
one.
win.
And if the next one is against the Broncos, so and the next one is
Not to
against
mention,
Kirk
let's
Cousins.
try.
So it's like they have. I think they have a fairly easy schedule.
Yeah, they have a.
Uh,
It should be manageable. They're going to the playoffs if they do what they have to do, man. I
yeah,
mean,
and I don't see why they won't because they're playing good.
if you gotta also one thing you gotta do always, you gotta be wary of your opponent. You're trying to have a long career. So if they're trying to knot off your kneecaps, be very careful on the field. They might take you out. Use your cook your kneecaps in the soup and eat it. Be very careful out there, guys. Run away.
Mhm.
They're not called lions for no reason.
Yeah.
But
Lions are known to go for the kneecap when attacking. What are
jeez,
you talking about?
Jesus. Hey, but talking about kneecaps, man. Patriots.
They're without
Patriots,
kneecaps.
man. Well, they have no kneecaps. They've been
Yeah.
scraping the bottom. I hope they keep scraping the bottom. To be honest, I've been seeing people talking about uh, um, Kraft is tired of losing. Is they're going to if Bill doesn't win this weekend, he's gonna be fired. I'll be honest, RJ. I want them to tank. At this point, I'm tired. I'm tired of watching noodle arm Kurt Cousins.
Yeah.
I'm tired, dude. I mean, the thing I have, and I was watching the Jaguars Bills, and it's such a big difference when you see, and you gotta compare teams, right? When do you know you have a guy? It's when the guy can perform in a bad playing team. When
Burrows.
Burrows won, but Burrows had a great
Well, yeah, at
wide
the end.
receiver.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud at Texans, not a good wide receiver core, not a good O line. He still helps the team to win under pressure. He's still trying to get this stuff going. You have Trevor Lawrence when the first season at Jaguars. You could see the talent. When he was under pressure, he could escape the pocket and make something happen. My biggest problem is this with, and people say he doesn't have, you don't need the help. If he cannot save himself, he cannot save anyone. You can put the thing is this, and this is the biggest problem with Mac. Mac had the greatest wide receiver core in college, but now he doesn't have that. You cannot put the wide receiver core he had in college. You cannot put that together and have a team because you have a cap you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you expect them to make it work? Even if you put, and that's I think the problem why they haven't invested in him. They know that if they invest, it won't make a. If he, how often can you throw at your number one receiver? There's at the point they're gonna double the guy, so you have to find another solution. His arm is so there is no when I'm watching the game, there is no zip in the throws. There is when he's under pressure, he cannot escape the pocket. When he's not under pressure, he's trying to escape he's seeing ghosts. Well, he makes he's been making the wrong decisions for a very long time right now. And at this point, I think we have to trade him, get some capital for him, and some good stock on the draft boards, and just tank and get maybe the first one or two or three places. Because if you start winning now, you're gonna end up at 15, and you're gonna get the same problem you had when you had him. You're at 15, the best quarterbacks are getting off the board. If you're lucky, you get someone who can make you float. A Kurt
Yeah.
Cousins.
Yeah. Well, I guess I saw a meme yesterday about. I don't recall. I don't remember if you recall the Avengers scene where Captain America was fighting against the was fighting against a bunch of agents of the opposing organization. I forgot what the name was, and it was just him against basically 10 to 15 people in an elevator fighting.
Mm.
And the caption read, "Patriots fans," and I'm paraphrasing, of course, "Patriots fans trying to stop Bill Belichick from using his first pick on a punter."
You know what's sad?
Because Bill has Tom Brady was number 199, right?
Something one eight
Was
nine or
picked like
something. But yeah.
something. So Tom Brady, and he's the best quarterback that the NFL has ever known. So I do think that Bill thinks he has the confidence that he can develop a player into becoming a superstar. So
He has the ability, but the problem is with Brady, he had also other capabilities.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying that he'll do it with Mac, but
No, he won't. Mac
I'm
doesn't have.
I know, but I'm not sure whether or not. I don't think it has to be a rookie either. It can also be an existing QB that he will take. So
Who?
I that's a good question. I don't know, but I think that
There's no one.
I know who won't. Colin Kaepernick.
Let's not hope he comes back.
Yeah,
No, he doesn't want to play football. He's just pump faking.
it's just
I
yeah for the cloud. But
But
I think that he
again, he's not a bad. I think
oh
the meme.
this is what I wanted to say about systems as well. You're talking about systems, and it's of course Bill Belichick is system heavy. If you
Yes,
have a
there's
system,
so much.
yeah, maybe. But if you have well, they say you live by the three, you die by the three, right? In the NBA. So you live by the system, you die by the system. If you have a good system, though, KR, and what's important when you have a system, you need to test out the system. If they tank, then they might the consequences might be that they would also lose confidence from the cogs in the system, the players.
Mhm.
But it can also be that instead of testing out 200 things in the system, 200 processes, routes, gameplays, whatever, they would only test out 80, which means that in the next season, they would need to test out the rest, plus taking into account that things change because new players come and all those things. So it's like a double edged sword. and I can tell you this as a Detroit Pistons fan. Again, guys, I like underdogs, but to be fair, when I became a Pistons fan, it was in the during the 2004 season where they won the championship. And a couple of years later, they blew up the team, and they haven't recovered since. So I can tell you that once you blow up a team, you do need a wartime coach, or a coach that can develop, a coach like the Lions coach that can come in and develop a system, because it takes time. So if you're gonna ask Bill to do something that he's never done before, which is tank, then
The
you need.
ego. That's the biggest problem. The ego. He's so close to Shula. He doesn't have time to lose. That's the biggest problem he has right now. I'll be honest. We had to tank when we had Cam. Then we wouldn't have this problem. But he want to retool it and get it going. You cannot we retooled it and got Mac. And now we have to tank. And
Well,
if it doesn't tank, we gotta end up with another Mac.
yeah.
You have to the fastest way to rebuilding is to tank. Look at where the Jaguars are right now. They're on the they're on the up. They're going the right direction. Of course, they chose the wrong coach the first year, but you see that a good quarterback, and you can see it also with the Bengals. A good quarterback can change your franchise. They got
But it's
bought
a
up
bit.
by Bengals, and look at where they are going. They went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's a gamble, because how many quarterbacks, Heisman Trophy winners, were not able to transition to the NFL?
If you're
It's
number
a
one, you can choose the best one who could transition.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean to
I
say that
don't
it's
know what's
still a
going
gamble, because at the beginning of the season, people were talking trash about Trevor Lawrence. A couple of games later, oh, he might be doing something well. Now, he did win two consecutive games in London, so it
at
was
Herald.
like it's not like
They were
the
zombies
usual.
playing zombies.
What did you say?
They were playing zombies. The Bills came in on Friday.
Exactly, exactly. So
So
it's like,
you have to have that luck as well. But
yeah, that's what I meant to say. So it's like, okay, they're at the top. The Jaguars are at the top of their division.
and they're not at the top,
Um,
right?
yeah, they're tied with the Colts,
Oh,
three
they
and
are.
two. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a two-game winning streak, and the Texans and the Titans. But it's anyone's game there, right? So it's like the
Yeah,
first,
they are gone.
the top two have three wins and two losses, and the bottom two have two losses and three wins. So it's like too close to call right now. But I mean, it's still not a guarantee that if you tank for a QB and you can even get a top QB, that quarterback will actually, that it will solve all your problems or guarantee anything. That's what I mean to say. It's just
Of course, it won't, but it will definitely up. Look at. Let's go through the draft picks, right? The young quarterbacks. You have the Bills, which drafted Josh Allen quite high. Think he was in the end of the first round, beginning second round. I don't remember, or in the first round, not sure. Jets drafted. I mean, Jets chose definitely the wrong guy because I don't know why they. Everyone was looking weird when they drafted Wilson.
who was
Why?
also available.
I can't recall that year.
Okay,
Let's see. Wilson draft.
but
Uh,
I didn't mean to take
anyway,
you off your.
yeah, but you have Chargers. They have their quarterback is a very good one. It was back then. It was between for the
Herbert, right?
Dolphins. It was between Tua and him. They chose Tua. Tua's also doing very good, even though we never know with him and his concussions how long that's gonna be.
Yeah,
Steelers, by the way, Steelers. I think their coach is one of the best coaches probably ever, dude.
yeah.
The thing he's doing now with this team, Pickin, Pickens ain't a good quarterback. Dude. I'm telling you.
No?
Yeah, he's not good. He's not good. That team ain't moving, but they're 3-2. They're
Yeah.
winning games that they shouldn't be able to win.
Well, I'm not sure about that though. Because they won against the Falcons. No, that's a preseason. They lost against the 49ers. Then they won against the Browns. They won
Yeah.
against the Raiders.
Raiders, they shouldn't have won that one.
Yeah.
They
They
should have
lost.
won Browns either. They were behind. It's
Yeah.
all Ravens
They
as well. So those are 3 games already. All
yeah.
their wins so far have been games that were very close that they shouldn't have won.
Yeah. But if you look at their schedule, it's going to be pretty easy. Well, relatively easy schedule as well. They have the Rams, then they have the Jags, the Titans, the Packers, the Browns, then they have the Bengals.
But that's not a good. It's easy if you have a good team. They don't have a good team. The guy
Uh,
has never had he has always ever had a winning season.
That's what I saw. But I mean, he has a track record.
Great coaching. Good
But
coaching can help.
he had a track record with Big Ben.
Yeah.
That's
Now he's continuing with a bad quarterback.
yeah.
They're not
But
gonna get so if they keep winning, they're not gonna get a good quarterback. So, but let's say Bengals. Bengals is last right now, but Bengals has a good quarterback.
yeah,
Burrows. I mean, he's injured right now, so you have Jaguars, a pretty talented guy. He can make the move. CJ Stroud playing very good at Texans. If they keep building the team, putting the team together to protect him, they can go long ways. Colts AR5 always always injured. Seems like we'll see how that works out. Eagles they drafted Jalen, good quarterback. Commanders have what's the guy's name? Also pretty good quarterback. 49ers, lucky. Got a quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant. He's doing pretty good. Cardinals is 1-4. They didn't draft Dobbs, but Dobbs is playing. They're playing hard, man. I have to say, I'm very impressed. Even though they are losing, I didn't expect them to play this hard. And then you have other teams. Like in general, if you can get your guy that you want and you're not choosing, I think that's the biggest problem with Bill, right? Bill is good at drafting defend guys on the defense. He's not good at drafting guys on the offense. So maybe, and I think that's maybe what the Pats should do is moving out of the position of GM, put someone who can draft offensive guy. Let him give his defensive picks and get someone with the knowledge of an offense and how to run it and have them draft a because they're choosing guys based on the wrong parameters, man. I'll be honest.
I think
Thornton,
yeah.
Thornton, I don't think he's gonna make it. We had Butte. He's seems like a good pick, but we'll have to see. They have a Pop. Pop is playing very good, but he's small sized, so we're gonna play him gadget plays. Otherwise, he's gonna get injured every game. And who else do you have on the wide receiver? Bourne. He wasn't drafted. Um, uh, um, we have Henry. Wasn't drafted. All free agents. We don't have guys that we have drafted that are playing good on the offense. That's the biggest problem. I mean, we have, dude, the defense looks stout. We
Yeah.
have, if next year, if we have a good offense, playoffs could be in. But you have to draft the right guy. You have to draft the right quarterback because Noodle Arm, the dude.
I think
Every time I see Mac throw, Let me tell you what I'm feeling right now. If I see Mac throw, it's the same feeling when I was watching uh, Newton throw.
It can go either way.
It can go. The ball is the ball. He doesn't have a zip, and the problem with Cam was he had a zip, but with Cam he was throwing so much to the ground. You're like, I don't know if he's gonna make it or not. With Mac, his ball is floating so long. I'm like, oh, let's hope it's a very good catchable ball for the receiver.
Yeah.
But guess
The
what?
receiver can run. The receiver can run.
Catch it.
Yeah, but the receiver can run, change direction, wait for the ball, and the
And guess what?
defender will have enough time as well to see what the receiver did, follow that, turn around, and catch the ball instead of the receiver.
Yes. And you look at the zip, look at the zip of the Chargers quarterback versus Mac. That's for me, that's like the standard. You see the zip, the ball goes straight line. Mac's ball always go,
So that's an arch, yeah.
it's not
Well, I have
traditional
I
zip.
have a suggestion
Tell me.
for the Patriots. What made Tom Brady great was the fact that he had something to prove. He can name you all the quarterbacks that went before him, and he had basically something to prove. He wanted to prove that he belonged there. And that
Mhm.
was his whole trajectory. If you look
And
at
he
his
was also winning
story
in
in
college.
high school, in college, it was always like
Chip on his
not the
shoulder.
first choice. Yeah, exactly. Chip on the shoulder. And he needs to prove. He needs
Guess
to
who
prove
also has that?
who?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts also has it. Okay. Well, I think so. I think that's something that characteristic it's
Very important.
fitting to the culture of the Patriots. That's what made the Detroit Pistons of basketball good as well. They were our outcasts and they came together to prove. So I think that's something I think that Bill needs to look for that, or at least, yeah, they need to look for people with that mindset, a quarterback with that mindset as well, that's willing to go the extra mile to prove that he's worthy.
Don't do that.
And a there's a quarterback, or at least there's a free agent, possible free agent uh, coming up in a bit, that so he will be let go from his previous team according to sources. And if that happens, I would suggest that Bill try try to sign him, because people don't expect a lot from him in wouldn't expect a lot from him in the NFL as a quarterback, etc. So but he's someone that needs to desperately prove that he's worthy. I'm talking about Will Smith, of course. So when so so
I was
so
like, who are you
when,
talking about, dude?
so
You could have called
maybe
curveball.
so maybe when Jada lets Will Smith go, after 7 years of benching, he might look for another home. But all jokes aside, I think that's what some people KR can function better in a system where they have less options. They just need to follow orders.
Yeah,
And
it is true. It is true.
for example, a I don't see maybe an Action Jackson, or at least no, a Patrick Mahomes playing in such a situation, because Patrick likes the running, the surprises, the
Well,
the,
they
the
have to
running.
create a system that fits that the style of play.
But I think
They
there are players who
they drafted guys that fit within that weird way of working, the off the cuff kind of system.
but I think there are other players that fit that system as well. That style. So
No, I don't think so.
no, not the Chief style. I'm talking about the Patriot style.
Oh, the Patriots style,
So
yeah,
people
but
that would say, yeah, I need a system. I need someone that takes care of everything. I know that I can throw the ball.
System
But
is it's too dense. I think that's the biggest problem, because a lot of times, if you look at throughout the years, the system of the Patriots hasn't worked for rookies on the offensive side because it's too dense. I think it was Squirrel.
so why would you go and hire a rookie? Because it's either changing the system, and you might as well fire Bill, or it's
You gotta change.
uh,
You gotta change the system. If Edelman explained on one of the podcasts with the Kelsey brothers. He explained how the system works. One of the routes. The routes, RJ, if the defender does this, you go this. If your defender goes does this, you do that. You have options within the same route. You're not telling him do this at all times. You're giving him option. If he goes deep, you do that. So basically, you're creating options for the receiver. Basically, you're making him a quarterback in his position. Not everyone can handle that. You have to have maybe Brady was that smart, and the players that have played in the past are so smart that the system has become so complicated that the new generation cannot deal with this way of density.
I think I think
Shut it
that
down.
I think that what helped is the fact that Brady understood the system and carried out the system as well. So
It's
he
true.
understood it. He could execute the system, or at least his part of the system, as well as Bill intended him
Yeah.
to. So that plays a role as well. And it's the type of character. Um, Mac is pretty young, but arm strength
Oh, dude.
is something that you need to have. Like, if you're young, that the thing you need to have as a quarterback back is arm strength,
You
because
cannot
that's
start. You cannot start the. You better be drafted, and your shit is sorry.
yeah,
Your arm
yeah,
is weak. You
yeah,
have a
yeah,
noodle arm because it's at the end of the later years. You should have a noodle arm, not at the beginning.
yeah, yeah. Mm,
I have problems with that.
so
I'm not
so
sure.
let's see what will happen.
Seems,
Um,
but you know, RJ, and it seems like this is the second show. Well, we've done topics like this before, right? It seems like I'm bashing the guy, but I like. I had hopes for Mac when it started off, right? I had great hopes, but it's not working, man. I'll be honest. Even if, let's say, you give him the receivers he needs, I don't think he can make it work.
no,
The stupid mistakes he's been making,
he
trying
needs
to
to
do
have,
too much.
yeah, the receivers need to make so much space. He needs to create so much space in order to create to make it how do you say it? Create so much space in
Please.
order to increase the chances of the completion, that it's not, you're better off with a quarterback with a stronger arm, because even quarterbacks like um the even Mahomes, Hurts, um, Tua, great arm, great accuracy. Let's take Tua, for example, the Dolphins, speedy receivers, but still there are certain points in time where the ball needs to be thrown quickly and accurately, to in order for another speedy for a speedy receiver to catch it in a window.
Yeah.
Might be two people. So even if speedy receivers are one part, or at least good receivers are one part of the equation, but if if a receiver can create space and he still would need to wait for the ball, especially the long balls, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
is. Let's
Well,
see what we will get, man. Just think. I'm of the opinion, and maybe Pats fans won't like this, but I'm of the opinion. Let's just think and put more our money on someone else because I'm not. We shouldn't reinvest in Mac, and then after 1 year, they got rid of what's the guy's the offensive coordinator of last year. They got rid of him and gave Mac a system that fits him, and now he's playing even worse than last year.
yeah.
Just divest, man, divest and start all over. Burn the offense. I think with that being said, RJ, I don't have
Yeah.
a
Yeah, me
lot
neither.
to
Guys, yeah, me neither. Guys, this is the first show, first episode of expected gameplay.
plan.
Except you see, guys, this is the first one. Expected game plan. We are, as mentioned at the beginning of the show, we have created a separate channel because we've noticed that we sometimes talk about sports, and we thought it would be better to create a separate channel in order to not to confuse our followers on this channel. So on the Double Touch Show channel, we talk about trending topics, specifically relating to money, specifically relating to how people can lose money easily. We might discuss, or not we might, sometimes we do discuss athletes as well in those shows, but that it would be more the financial side. Let's say if there's a divorce going on, or if there's a contract dispute or something like that, instead of the real gameplay. Here we're talking about sports, but we're talking about it as fans. We are not um, reporters. We're just discussing uh, trending discussions that are going on in in society. So, with that being said, let us know what you guys think of today's show. Share your thoughts and opinions as well with what we talked about. We are very curious to know your thoughts and opinion on these matters. If there are topics or teams that you want us to cover, please do not hesitate to let us know in the comment section as well. There are a lot of teams, and we're just starting off. So, I mean, a lot. We can talk hours and hours onward on sports, but we just want to start. We're just going to start and see how the play develops, Skip. So with that being
The game
said,
plan skip. Got a game plan skip.
when you do it, it always sounds like Mike Tyson. Guys, uh, we'll leave you with, of course, the housekeeping. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share the video with your friends, your family, and of course your enemies. Comment and like the video, and of course check us out on our socials. With that being said, it's been a pleasure, and we'll be expecting you in the next show. Until next time, peace.
Tank.